Hello, this is Heinrich. I'm currently preparing my talk for SRECon this year, and I was going to quite some struggles to do so. I have been procrastinating on Sunday about 7, 8 hours before I got myself to produce a single slide. And I also have a very vivid recollection looking at my past 10 years of giving talks, of every single talk of those being a very hard and strenuous process where I was just battling with the content and with the slide decks until sometimes just hours before the talk. And I feel for this year, I have made a lot of progress mindset wise, how I approach this period and how I approach yeah, this writing task that I have in front of me. And I wanted to talk about this, first of all, to just share that I'm struggling as well. Others are also struggling, and we are in this together as speakers at the conference, or if you are like listening to this from a different context. It's this tasks are hard and it's tricky, and you are not alone. This is for sure. And the second bit is, yeah, how to do better and how to get over it and just get started and get into the flow state. So you are churning out slides or pages and you are creating something. And there's a lot of psychology in this and a lot of things that influence that you can influence and that help to get to a more productive state of mind. And it's really all about mindset here, right? So the biggest insight maybe is that I think most of my anxiety and procrastination comes from a sense of ego. It's always the pressure I put onto myself to deliver and to shine and to really look like somebody who is smart and knows what he's doing, that is producing this anxiety. At least this is how I think about it. And the best recipe to get beyond this is actually to focus on the service that I'm being or you are being for the people in the room. So I'm visualizing and I'm like thinking about the people that will be there and what I can possibly do in order to help them become a better engineer, to help them to struggle less or to make better decisions. And in this way, it becomes less about me. It becomes just what is the maximal value that I can provide for them. And it's a very different thing, right? I'm no longer trying to kind of find things that are kind of tricky and make me look smart, but I'm trying to think about them and trying to yeah identify things that I may have figured out or that I can help them orient towards by just, in my case, more drawing a map of the landscape we are navigating. Yeah. The second thing here, very much related, is about authenticity. So sometimes, you feel like, okay, I haven't really understood this. I do want to actually speak from a position of authority. I want to figure things out and so on. Um, at least for industry conferences, I'm having a math background, so I think if you're presenting a proof, then there is like something definite around it. But in the industry I'm operating, there's nothing like this. We are not speaking absolute truth. We are always figuring things out, and actually, a lot of the stuff has not been figured out that we are trying to do. Building reliable systems, operating systems, making engineers productive, these are really, really hard problems. And we are collectively all learners. And I think that kind of humble attitude and mindset of saying, hey, I have not figured this out either, but here are a few things that I learned that were useful in the context that I have. And then kind of, it also makes sense to describe the context a little bit that you have that will be in the bio and maybe some stuff about the company where you work and the environments you have been working in that kind of make this tangible for your audience, understanding what will be transferable and what may be just different because they are in a different environment. So yeah, be very explicit about like this is experiences and truth that I found for myself, and that is then always something one can speak about with authority and without any form of yeah tension you feel, because you feel you're actually talking things that you are not like 100% sure about. The third thing is about like what is the preparation itself, right? You are now, the things that we are trying to do is we're producing the slide deck. And I was always like thinking about how great would it be if I am in that position that I can share like my experiences and be of service to the audience. And this was my thoughts around what I wanted to create. But the thing that stands between this experience and yeah, and right now is actually creating the slide deck. And creating the slide deck or writing drafts or writing outlines and so on is actually the activity that is in front of you. And I oftentimes thought about this, okay, this is like, I didn't give that careful consideration. I was just like already jumping to, okay, I wanna be like on the stage and I wanna do um, yeah, I want to help other people. But there's this thing in the middle, right? And this is very important. It's the act of writing and of producing the slides. And this is something that you can also decide or influence how that experience is for you. That can be something that you are doing in a rushed way just shortly before the event, or that you are like actually not so much thinking about. And board can be something that you are very deliberate about and approach it a little bit like an artist. So it's just like a lot of this is just becoming comfortable with the tools, becoming comfortable like with producing 2 or 3 slides and building a muscle to actually do that. So I cannot say that I've successfully implemented this to a large degree, but what I'm trying to do is yeah, get some more reps in and just produce a few slides, just try to play with this a little bit and produce 1 or 2 good slides just about random content, just to get the muscle warmed up, that you're always okay, just let me create a slide about this, it's no big deal. And yeah, that's maybe also a very good point. Don't make it a big deal. This is the SRECon. It's not the greatest conference of all, right? Your life doesn't depend on it. There's nothing bad that can happen on this conference. Um, it's like nothing there is. It will be a big deal. The less big of a deal you make anything, the easier it is. And yeah, specifically creating a slide is not a big deal, and creating a slide deck is also not a big deal. You've probably done it a million times. And yeah, so that's about the process. Really approach it with focus, or with a playful attitude, and with a yeah like you can actually enjoy this process of fleshing out the story, creating the slides, and so on. And lastly, I want to talk about language a little bit, because we are talking a lot about mindset, and mindset is about thoughts. And what is the best way to influence thoughts? It's language. And language creates thoughts, thoughts create feelings, feeling create action. And so it's all interconnected, but it always starts with language. And there are like certain things that we tell ourselves, or words we are using, that are connotating with things that are not so positive. And one specific one is actually deadline. So I was talking to other people about this conference as a deadline and something that I have to do. And I'm also explaining here that's hard, and I was procrastinating and so on. But I'm actually very conscious and careful to not use these words more than I have to, or actually avoid this verse and then replace it with something better. So a very friend of mine yesterday said he is no longer doing to-do lists, he is doing ta-da lists. So in the sense of, hey, this is what I will produce. And so for me, it's not a deadline, it's the launch date. It's when the great talk will kind of be launched, and we'll meet all at the SRECon conference. And yeah, it's also not the talk is not something I have to do, it's something I get to do, or I'm invited to do. And all these kind of things, if you speak about this in these terms, it has whole different connotations and it sets you into a different mindset. All right. Probably have a lot more. There's a lot more nuance and stuff. I could talk about this topic for a long time, but I do want to wrap it up here, just over 10 minutes. If you made it all the way through, thank you for your attention. And to everybody here in this room, looking forward to meeting you in, I think, 10 days or so at the conference itself. And yeah, fingers crossed for you to prepare your talks. And yeah, all the best. Bye bye.